Back on the Nation at 5 with more details on the PFI crackdown. This is a most comprehensive deep dive into the reason why this organization and its fronts were cracked down upon in perhaps the biggest ever initiative taken by a government to crack down on an organization which is a threat to national security. Now, what we're given to understand is that after this entire crackdown on Thursday, the Popular Front of India had called for a 12-hour hartal this Friday, and this was called against the raids. But during the hartal, the PFI unleashed absolute mayhem on the streets of Kerala. There was violence and crude bombs that were thrown even in Tamil Nadu. And public property was vandalized. Petrol bombs were thrown at BJP and RSS offices. Tires were burnt to stop traffic in Wayanad. The Kerala High Court came out and condemned the violence and ordered the DGP to take action. PFI, SDPI workers even forced people in Kannur to shut their businesses. But what happened is the locals hit back at this brazen attempt. The locals gave it to the PFI, and in some cases, the PFI workers were even beaten up. We just got news coming through from Bengaluru at this point, where the crackdown on PFI units continues after inputs from the NIA and central agencies. The Bengaluru Police has detained 15 people linked to the PFI on charges of spreading communal hatred and hatching criminal conspiracies. 34 lakh rupees in cash, ATM cards, burner phones and propaganda material have been seized. These suspects are from Bengaluru, Mysuru, Bengaluru, Dakshina Kannada, Shivamogga, Davangere and Koppal. 15 people rounded up. They've been arrested. Ritu now joins us with more details. Ritu, who are these people and what happens next?
So yes, you see it's on Wednesday where an FIR was being registered against 19 PFI leaders, and among that almost 15 members are being picked up for the questioning. With all that, the kind of an hatredness and the communal conspiracy that was being spreaded is what the kind of an allegations that are being raised against these accused, and now they are being produced in front of the civil court, as well as what we are learning for the police custody and for the investigation to take place. But with all that, in a major development, you can also see the huge amount that has been recovered from the police. Almost 34 lakh cash has been recovered, and mobile phones, tab and other electrical devices have been recovered from the police, and now there will all be an investigation that will be carried to understand what kind of the data, the information these electrical devices had. But yes, you see there has been a multiple location from where police had picked up these PFI leaders. As what we know is that from Mysuru, Bangalore, Mangalore, Shivamogga, Koppal and the Davangere and the other districts, from the other district is where the police had picked up these PFI leaders. But we have seen in the Karnataka, across Karnataka, in fact, many communal related violence have erupted in past few months itself. So that which started with the hijab, then we also saw what took place in the Mangalore in case of the Praveen Nataru murder case as well, and then later point the clash that erupted between the two communities in the Shivamogga over Savak poster. In all these kind of incidents, police had suspected some sort of a link with the PFI, the PFI leaders, and in a way that police had also recovered a proof as well to say that these accused were having some sort of a link with the PFI and the SDPI too. So with all that, you see now PFI, or for that matter SDPI, is under scanner. But this is a huge crackdown that the state police had taken down on PFI.
Right. Thank you for your input, Ritu. Going across to Alok Bansal, Hemant Attri, Tushar Gupta, and we also have Ellen Rao, lawyer and former DCP crime, joining us this evening. Mr. Rao, let me start with you. The PFI said we are a peaceful organization, but petrol bombs are thrown. There is vandalism on the streets. But the other aspect that stands out is there is still a certain element of them being organized, despite more than 106 of their leaders being arrested nationwide, and the arrest still continuing. Mr. Rao, can you hear me? Well, Mr. Ellen Rao, you got to unmute yourself. All right, we'll try and connect again with Mr. Ellen Rao and then come back to him. But Alok Bansalji, they are still organized, because if they call for a hartal, They still have people who turn up across multiple districts and regions in Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
That shows their
And
reach.
they do create public disorder.
There is no doubt they are well organized, they are spread far and wide, and this shows their reach. And that is why I think the agencies have cracked down in such a manner, because everybody has knew that PFI is an organization which is spreading hatred, which is actually promoting radicalization. Although this organization has always been projecting that they are a peaceful organization, but the manner in which petrol bombs have been hurled and the manner in which many of the shopkeepers have been asked to lower their shutters and in fact forcing them to close their establishments very clearly indicates that this is not a peaceful organization. There have been many incidents of terror where links went to the PFI cadres. They have been managing to get away for some time. I think a time has now come, and that's why the government has now cracked down on it. And I think in days to come, we will get very clear leads as to what was their agenda. Already the amount of money, the SIM cards, etc., which have been apprehended, points to a very, very sinister plot which they had been hatching. But in days to come, I think we'll unearth even more information. I think the agencies would unearth, and we'll have a clearer picture as to what their agenda has been.
They claim to be a very peaceful organization, Mr. Ellen Rao, but what we saw today was not peaceful. What we saw was vandalism. How did they have access to petrol bombs, a lot of surveillance kind of instrument, high-tech instruments, and incriminating material has been found wherever the raids have been conducted? And despite the crackdown and the arrest, they seem to be having the ability to mobilize.
Yes, this organization and the members of this organization are not peaceful at all. They pretend to be peaceful organization, but as per the activities, as you have seen, everybody is seeing that activities, they are fully violent and they are using all sort of these dangerous weapons like petrol bomb and other deadly weapons. And so many people have been injured. The police officers have been injured in these activities, in these raids. So while the crackdown is being done on PFI and their activities, then definitely that is going to hamper their activities and their intentions, which they are trying to create against our country. They want to destabilize, and they want to, as in the past we can see that we have seen that they are motivating the communal rights also, and they are instrumental in getting these communal rights and other things, the terrorist activities also. In the investigation of so many cases recently, I can tell you about the investigation outcome of Delhi Royce cases and this investigation of Sainbag, the inquiry conducted in Sainbag also. Their intention and there is one point agenda is to destabilize our peace and harmony in our country and create some violence through their activities. And for that, they are being funded by so many people that funding channel has to be cracked down, and that should be stopped at all, because any organization cannot work without any money. So our intention, our intelligence agencies and the government's intention that by these crackdowns, their funding should be stopped. And if their funding is to be probed also, not only stopped. Who are the persons, who are the organizations, who are the openly funding this organization? And I think now it's a stage, and that the stage that it should be banned by the MHA, and this should be declared as a terrorist organization.
Now,